Do the powerful have anything up their sleeve about Ripple and XRP? This will be discussed and addressed by us. I hope you all enjoy the channel. Hi, I'm Nick. New viewers, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel after watching this video. It is imperative that you immediately begin following me on every single social media site if you haven't already, to make sure that you all are. Defeating these cycles and reaching financial freedom, I've included links to follow me and join a free Discord in the description below. The best part is that you're not alone. There are 6,000 people who are willing to help you out with any issues or queries you may have right now. Now that we've established that, let's get right in and learn about Ripple's crypto liquidity and its crucial position in contemporary finance. Expanding our network to near global coverage and implementing unique liquidity solutions are two ways that Ripple Payments is continuously boosting our capacity for liquid assets. Next steps inside this comprehensive breakdown, it's clear that Ripple is making something intriguing with XRP and their other offerings in this space. So many inefficiencies, so many middlemen, and bottlenecks plague traditional finance when we take a closer look at what's happening in this field. It seems to me that the money itself and the tracks it travels on should transition to digital currency at this point in time, given how ubiquitous digital technology is becoming. Even in this case, we can see that in March 2020, when the COVID-19 pandemic was in full swing, there were temporary liquidity issues due to the widespread sell-offs in the stock and cryptocurrency markets caused by global economic concern. We keep an eye on the financial markets as we try to solve these problems. Even in the midst of pandemics and stock and market catastrophes, it's obvious that liquidity is limited. It's something I've brought up recently, and I want to keep doing so. A crisis in liquidity is becoming worse. Restricted banking options persist. They are also under a lot of stress because they have a lot of commercial real estate debts that they are still holding on to. Uncertainty surrounds whether or not we are heading towards a recession, which is happening at the same time as we are seeing soaring debt and falling markets. It is my firm belief that we are about to encounter a major obstacle and witness a worldwide liquidity disaster. What exactly is this pointing us toward as we consider this? The way it's shaping up, though, a major shift in conventional banking is also on the horizon. Although traditional financial institutions have made great strides in facilitating faster and more reliable cross-border payments, there are still substantial problems that require fixing when considering the many obstacles to these types of transactions that go beyond liquidity alone. SWIFT-based transactions are quicker than previously, but customers still don't know what happens to their money and where it is. It could still be difficult to transfer funds on holidays, weekends, or other non-business days because intermediaries aren't always available to finalize transactions at these times, which might cause settlement delays. Still presents difficulties in today's more interconnected world. Now, expanding upon this, an excellent post that essentially detailed SWIFT in relation to Ripple, but it was also Ripple, Nexus, and SWIFT. This data came from a Define Exporter report that was generated in April. While SWIFT GPI is applied after the fact, Ripple payment costs are applied before the transaction. Based on our analysis, it appears that SWIFT presents a substantial obstacle in this regard. Yes, they will surely perish if they don't come up with new ideas soon. When it comes to Ripple's attempts to compete with SWIFT, I've mentioned this before, as if they had no business attempting to counter SWIFT. Okay? The necessity for innovation in SWIFT is the main reason. Behind this, it is incumbent upon them to be creative. When it comes to money, Ripple is already part of the new wave. They have already entered the digital era. But now we can see the contrast. Here we have Nexus, SWIFT, and Ripple. Market penetration is strong for SWIFT. Indeed, pre-funding is required. For average speed, it takes 9 hours. Cost transparency, ex post. Assurance, a deal can fall through at any number of points. Internet Protocol version 22, virtual private, the network or leased line. One issue with Ripple is its relatively small user base. You do not have any sort of preliminary finance quickly, almost instantly. Here are the pre- and post-ex-ante costs, for your reference. In a matter of seconds, a transaction either succeeds or fails. Additionally, an ISO 222 REST API is available for accessing this. Again, Ripple comes out on top when compared against Nexus. Thanks to Smoke Dog's response, we now have a technical link between Ripple and the XRP ledger through ISO 222. The first graph fails to hold. Marketplace solutions for international money transfers and websites. As an example, Ripple specifies that in order to access Ripple services, you must be linked to a REST API with ISO 22 REST within the feature area for Ripple. APIs allow Ripple to connect to back-end systems in a consistent way. The final picture provides a technical overview of the relevant APIs, connections, and the XRP ledger. We have the means to include and make use of Ripple when we examine this in detail. Ripple pilot integration once again can happen in a matter of weeks. Here we see the REST-style integration of financial institutions. APIs play a crucial role in this context for integrating with back-office activities like compliance, audit trails, and support. Additionally, there is the sending and receiving as well as a comprehensive explanation of how Ripple Labs actually functions. The remaining middleware, such as data APIs, is located here. Additionally, this is integrated with the XRP ledger on the bottom peer-to-peer-to-peer network. You may say that's the gist of it. While we examine Swift, shall we? Because they are so big, Swift has everyone's attention. Swift is associated with more than 11,000 financial institutions. They form the backbone of the international monetary system, if you will. Since CGI is a key part of Swift and all these other players, they recently given us some insight that you could rely on to move $21 trillion every day. Actually, today is here. On a daily basis, we assist our clients in making real-time payments totaling over $21 trillion. A further 35% of U.S. Fedwire transactions, 20% of SWIFT payment transactions, and 40% of worldwide foreign exchange settlements are handled by our clients. In case you were wondering, SWIFT is crazy, transferring about $5 trillion per day. In fact, if we take a look at our history, we can see that we initially dabbled in the payments industry in the 1970s when we studied the blueprints for SWIFT, the initial global infrastructure for electronic payments, and created an interface solution for customers using SWIFT. In other words, they build the SWIFT interface solutions for their customers. We have been working with financial institutions to digitize and modernize payments for almost 40 years now, and our customers have benefited from easier, faster, and more secure payments because of it. Why am I even talking about computer-generated imagery CGI these days? To what end am I bringing up computer-generated imagery? To be more specific, they are aiming to innovate by making use of next-gen technologies, and they are promoting real-time payments that focus on payments. You won't believe what happened next. The deployment of the Ripple Validator node by CGI accelerates the use of blockchain technology. It was in the year 2016. My God, this is incredible. I don't care about the date as long as Ripple does have these links. Considering our continuous endeavors to further decentralize the Ripple network, we are ecstatic by CGI's decision to incorporate a validator. The involvement of a large corporation in Ripple's consensus process strengthens the network's resilience and is crucial in our collaboration with CGI to facilitate the commercial production of blockchain technology. CGI is leading the charge to modernize payments, and our clients benefit from our cooperation with Ripple. We can't wait to keep growing our utilize decentralized financial technologies to aid financial institutions in decreasing implementation risk and accelerating time to value. A huge sum of money is changing hands at CGI, so yeah, they're a huge deal. They have connections to a plethora of participants. Integration can happen practically immediately once regulations are in place because to the established agreements that Ripple has. I don't see how the elite are involved at the moment. It's easy as pie. Safeguarding essential infrastructure from a cyber epidemic at the World Economic Forum. Just lately, CrowdStrike fell down, leaving the entire planet in a state of relative darkness. The fact that CrowdStrike is a partner of the World Economic Forum adds to the irony. Moreover, Ripple has partnered with the World Economic Forum. Swift was not keeping tabs on the commencement of cyber assaults on its consumers outside of the core network, according to a post by Ripple from 2017. Great, I'm intrigued. I understand, it's fascinating because when you get down to brass tacks, the linkages here are huge. Nothing is a surprise. There has been a protracted effort by the World Economic Forum to promote a cyber pandemic. Actually, this has been on our minds for a while. Crazy stuff happens when you consider that Ripple was pushing the cyber